Team, today we're going to tackle something that's a little bit different than your normal build topic. This is actually related to, my opinion, both safety and drivability of our vehicles or our homes. In some of our gauges, I can almost see what's behind it, but in others, that is almost impossible. So I started taking these apart and figured, well, maybe I'll show everybody else how to do this to make them look like this once again, rather than spending several $100s on an instrument cluster. So let's see if we can go through this real fast. First thing that we'll need to do is remove all of the screws, and these are pretty simple, no complex tools needed, just a simple Phillips screwdriver. Once you do that, you can open up the instrument cluster, being careful not to break anything, and then you can see all of these gauges down here. Interestingly enough, each one of these simply locks in place with a locking ring, and it twists off. Make sure you match up the connectors, and then we're going to take it apart, and then we'll look and see how those gauges are actually put together. Now that I've removed the gauge from the cluster, this one actually was in that location right there. When you look at this outer ring, the outer ring actually twists off, and not sure that you can see it, but there's a couple little locks in here. So we're just going to twist this off, and it actually twists off counterclockwise. Now we have the gauge without the locking ring on it, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the glass, and that it's not really glass, it's all plastic, and that's one of the reasons that these things kind of get so discolored or distorted or whatever you want to call it. But it comes off pretty easy. It just you get this right here, there's maybe a small screwdriver, and you pop it right out. It's a rubber ring that holds it in place. And here we have the glass, if you will, the plastic removed from inside of here. There's the bezel piece. Let me see, there's the bezel piece right here. This black ring that just kind of fits in the back side of this. And actually, this is double layered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the outer one. Then we only have two of those. Since there are two of those, I'm just going to remove the outer one. That'll give us a nice clear surface to be able to see through. And here we are. It's kind of amazing when you get rid of that outer layer. Look how clear that inner one is. So we're going to put this back together, and we should be able to see all the gauges. So just take your time. Be very gentle. It's all plastic, keep that in mind. And some of those rubber O-rings, particularly this one here, can be dry rot, so take your time with it. I'm sure you'll have a great outcome. Just remember that when you put these back together, those O-rings can be a little bit stiff. They can crack, and just keep in mind all of that's plastic, but you saw what it looked like before, and now you see what it looks like removed. I may be able to actually see the gauges now without spending about $300 on every gauge. That's I think that's an improvement. Amazing what a few minutes makes. But these are the same gauges. It's not replaced. I simply removed the duplicate lens or the exterior lens that were on these, and as you can see, they are all very, very clear now. Should have no trouble being able to see anymore.